Good evening to you, all of my precious lovelies. I am here to give you guys just answer a question that I get an awful lot. In fact, someone asked me this today. But before that, I'm going to say that this is probably the first and only time that you will ever see me in white unless I wear this shirt again. Because I don't like wearing white. But I really like this shirt. Seriously, I like skulls. They're fun. I love this shirt, although it makes me feel really huge and really fat, but that's not what the point of this video is about. It is also not about the fact that I love long sleeves. I like wearing them in summertime too, but I'm all hot and sweaty and gross and things stick to me, and it's yucky. Anyway, the point of this video is that I get a lot of questions on how I came up with my chosen name, which is Darius Aiden. If you know me in real life, you already know my last name that I've chosen because my last name that I will be using is the first name that I have now. So it starts with a C and ends with a Y, and I hate it because it's a type of food. Fucking Indian food. Have you guys seen how white I am? All of the time I get asked if I'm Indian when I tell people my name, and I'm like, Yep, I'm completely, totally, I'm straight from India, yep, that's me. I don't get it, guys, I really don't get why you ask me this question, because it's little old ladies asking me very sincerely. Like, no, ma'am, no. Oh, are you sure? Am I sure that I'm not Indian? I'm pretty sure I'm not Indian. Anyway, enough about that. But, again, back to why a little white girl wants to go by a name that is usually given to black guys. Why? Well, I don't really know, actually. A lot of the other FTMs and MTFs that I've spoken to have told me that, well, I've always known what I've wanted to be called. I didn't always know what I wanted to be called. As soon as I realized I wanted to start going by a different name, because honestly the name I have now could be unisex, but I don't like the idea of using it as a male name because I'm still the same person that I've always been, but I feel like I need a different name to kind of signify that I'm becoming who I think I should be. And that, and the fact that whenever I tell people my name, they gush about how pretty and how cute it is, and I'm like, I fucking hate you, shut up, please. But, so after I realized that I wanted to go by a different name, I started looking at a bunch of baby name sites, which kind of terrified my parents because they thought I was having a kid. Haha, guess what? No, it's not that simple, not that easy to deal with. But, so I was looking at a lot of those, and I couldn't find anything I liked. I ran through a few different possibilities, kind of tried them out, had people call me that, and it was kind of this moment where, like, I'd have these moments of I had to think about what name I was going by that particular day, and none of them caught my attention, and I didn't find myself looking up and acknowledging those names, so I just knew that was not what I wanted to go by. And then I went to an online forum, and I started posting pictures of myself, and I said, I'm an FTM, I'm looking for a new name, I'd really like some suggestions from people of what you think my name would be if I came up to you, told you I was a boy, and what would you guess? I had a lot of suggestions. I often got suggested the name Blake, which I liked okay, except for the fact that I had a crazy stalker in junior high named Blake. So I was like, no, not Blake. Also had a mild crush on a kid named Blake too, so that would be really awkward. I also, what other names did people say? A lot of people said Lucas, which I liked, but then I thought of George Lucas, so I was like, no. I got Elliot a lot, which I was like, that sounds like a girl's name. I don't want to go with that. Sorry, guys. I appreciate the offer, but no. One name that I really struggled with, because I really liked it, was Ethan. I don't know why, I really liked that name for a long time, but even that one, even though I liked it, it didn't feel like me. I got Terrence and Lawrence and a lot of instances too. But again, none of them fit. So as much as I thanked everyone, they just didn't fit. Eventually, I came across the name Darius. Don't know how, when, or why. I think I was on a baby name site again. Again, worrying the parents and the whole family over me. But, and I kind of like that. It's different, it's interesting, I like it, it's nice. At the same time, I don't know if I really like this though, because it sounds kind of feminine. But at the same time, I knew I couldn't go with a normal boy name like John, Joe, Bob, or something like that. I'm not a normal guy, and I never will be. Personality-wise, physically, emotionally, mentally, none of that. I'll never be a typical guy. And I realized I can't go by a typical guy's name, because it feels like false advertising. But, you know, so I tried going by the name Darius, and the very first time someone said that name to me, I just knew it was the right one. I don't know how or why, but I just knew. And now that I go by that, I'm more likely to look up at that name and acknowledge that name rather than looking up at my birth name. I've gotten to the point where someone will say it a few times and I kind of forget, oh hey, that's me. But, you know, where I'll think, why do they know my last name? And I'm like, wait, no, that's my first name though. But, also, if you do know my birth name, please don't use it on this account or any other account that you see me on, just because I feel really detached to that name as my first name. Like I said, I consider it a last name now. So please don't mention it, because I don't really like people knowing it, because as soon as they know it, everyone starts calling you by your first name again, and I'm like, please don't say it, please don't say it, just stop, you know. And it's the same principle as soon as a trans person tells you, hey, I'm trans, I used to be this. It seems like everyone starts saying, well, guess what, Darius used to be a girl, I guess it's a girl now. No, it isn't, and it never was. God made a fucking mistake, and it's not my fault. Now I gotta go and fix it, because guess what? God's not perfect, guys. But, so that's my story on how I got my chosen name. Oh, the middle name I picked, Aiden. A lot of people said I should use that as my first name, but I've realized there's kind of this weird phenomenon in which a lot of FTMs happen to use the name Aiden as their new first name. Any variation, or any, you know, and just, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I mean, I like those names. I don't find anything wrong with those names. Aiden, Jaden, Hayden, Brayden, blah, 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 blah. You know, I love you, Jaden, you're great. Anyway, but I like those names. But it just seems like a lot of FTMs use them. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I just didn't necessarily want to use that as my first name, and Darius kind of spoke out to me more for some reason. Plus, Aiden Darius just, I don't know, doesn't seem to roll off the tongue, whereas Darius Aiden, I love the way that sounds. But I chose that as my middle name, and I really dig it, and, because I didn't like my birth middle name. Just, I don't know if that phrasing really exists, but my real, I don't like saying real either. The middle name I got at birth is Jean. Jean. I don't like it. It makes me think of Jean Grey. I just don't like it. I thought about using Jean as my name. Spelling it is, you know, Gene. Like Gene Wilder. But then I thought, no, I'm not a Jean. I'm just not a Jean. I can't do it. Nope. Sorry, Mr. Wilder. I love you. But I just can't do it. So yeah, anyone debating on how to come up with their first, middle, or last name that they want to go by, sometimes it takes a lot of time, you guys, but once you find it, it'll probably just, like, totally bite you, and you'll just, oh my god, that's it, or at least that's how it was for me. If it's not that way for you, that doesn't mean that it's wrong and that you're doing anything inappropriate or weird. It just means that everyone discovers their own personality and persona in their own special way. So if it takes time, don't get discouraged and don't just, like, flop on you know, maybe your parents had thought about ideas of names if you had been born the other biological sex. You don't have to resort to those, because my parents were going to name me Jared. I don't feel like a Jared. I don't really know what a Jared feels like, but I know that I don't feel like one. Anyway, so I'm gonna go, because it's late, and I woke up at 2 in the afternoon yesterday, and which was bad, because I have to work at noon tomorrow, so I really can't wake up at 2, because I'll be toast. And I gotta mow the lawn in the morning, or my grandma will rip my face off. So, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hope I can sleep, and hope that my tummy settles, because I had a really big dinner, because I make awesome stuffed mushrooms. They are fucking delicious. But I ate too much, now my stomach hurts. So I'm gonna sit here, rub my belly, and make myself feel better until I fall asleep. So good night to all of you, and happy wishes to all of my, I don't know what to call you, people. I'll come up with something more creative in the morning when I'm not in, you know, tummy pain. Because right now I kind of feel like Jabba the Hutt. Ow. So, good night.